Dear students, once again I welcome you to the solution of assignment number 11. You have gone through various concepts related to ANOVA and benchmarking, and the assignment 11 was basically designed covering these concepts. So, once again we have 25 questions and all the questions are objective type and one answer is correct. Question 1. In ANOVA experimentation, we replicate the experiment for more than one times. Number 1, to randomize the noise factor. Number 2, to reduce the impact of the variation in independent variable. Select the correct option: A only 1, B only 2, C both 1 and 2, and D none of the above. The correct answer is A. In ANOVA experimentation, replication of experiment for more than one time is done to randomize the noise factor. Question 2. A single factor linear ANOVA model is represented as Yij, that is your dependent variable response factor, is equal to mu plus tau I, that is the treatment effect, plus error epsilon ij, where mu is the overall mean, tau I is ith treatment effect, and epsilon ij is experimental error. What is the correct option? Choose the assumption in the model. Mu is constant, tau I is normally distributed, epsilon ij error is normally distributed. All are the assumption of the model. The answer C is the correct one. Epsilon ij is normally distributed. Question 3. In an experimentation with 4 treatments and 5 replications, calculate the error degree of freedom. So, 19, 3, 4 and 16 are the options. The correct answer is D, 16, and it can't be computed as A n minus 1, that is 4, 5 minus 1, that is 4 into 4 equal to 16. Question 4. In the same experimentation in question 3, if the total sum square is 250 and error sum square is 44, calculate the treatment mean square. You can see the options on the screen, and the correct answer is B, 68.33. The solution is represented here. As you know, treatment sum of square is equal to total sum of square minus error sum of square, and this comes out to be 205, and treatment mean square MS treatment is basically treatment sum square divided by degree of freedom A minus 1. So, 205 divided by 3, which is 68.33. Question 5. From the data given in question 3 and 4, calculate the value of F statistic. 24.29, 4.55, 5.55, none of the above. The correct answer is A, 24.29, and MSS error is basically SSE divided by A into n minus 1. So, it is 45 by 16, that is 2.8125. From the previous equation, MSS mean sum of square treatment was found and it was 68.33. So, as you know, F statistic is MSS treatment divided by MSS error. So, it is 68.33 divided by 2.8125, and this is 24.29. Question 6. In ANOVA, we statistically compute mean variance ratio of means and standard deviation. What is the correct option? The correct option is A, mean. ANOVA statistically compares the means. Question 7. F value can increase if number 1, variability due to chance decreases, number 2, variability due to treatment increases. Choose the correct option: A, only 1, B, only 2, 1 and 2, none of the above. The correct answer is C, A and B. We know that F is equal to MSS treatment divided by MSS error, and hence F can increase with increase in MSS treatment and decrease in MSS error, that is error due to chance. So, both the option 1 and 2 which are there in the option C are correct. Question 8. How many dependent variables must you have for an ANOVA to be conducted? Only one continuous variable, B 3 continuous variables, C 3 ordinal variables, and D 3 nominal variables. The correct answer is A, only one continuous variable. For ANOVA to be conducted, only one continuous dependent variable is required. Question 9. What would you use to determine whether significant differences were observed between all levels of your independent variables? App statistic, post hoc test, and you can select the correct option from A only 1, B only 2, C 1 and 2 both, and D none of this. The correct answer is B, post hoc test only 2. Question 10. In the analysis of variance ANOVA, the measure is A, the independent variable in the study, B, an extraneous variable that confounds the efforts of the independent variable, C, the dependent variable in the study, and D, none of the above. The correct answer is C, the dependent variable in the study. Question 11. In the statistical model on which the one-way ANOVA is predicted, it is assumed that you can see the 4 options. A, in the population there is homogeneity of variance across treatment groups. B, there is always some basis for pairing the scores in any 2 groups. C, participants under different conditions are tested by different experimenters, and D, in the population there is homogeneity of covariance or specificity. The correct answer is A, in the population there is homogeneity of variance across treatment groups. Question 12. Now it is on benchmarking. Benchmarking can be applied for A, process, B, product, C, marketing, or D, all of the above. So as you know, benchmarking is the process to accept that some practices are better than our practices, and by comparing our practices with those practices, best practices, we can find out the gap and decide an appropriate action plan to bridge this gap. So, keeping this in mind, the correct answer is D, that is all of the above. Benchmarking can be applied for anything, that is process, product, marketing, practices. Wherever there is a scope for improvement, you can apply the benchmarking, conduct the benchmarking, and find out the scope for necessary improvement and schedule the action plan for achieving those targets. Question 13. Benchmarking comes under which phase of DMAIC? So, is it design, analyze, improve, or control? The correct answer is B, that is analyze. Question 14. Benchmarking based on the comparison among different subsystems from same organization is known as competitive benchmarking, internal benchmarking, functional benchmarking, none of the above. The correct answer is B. It is called internal benchmarking when within the same company you are trying to compare the processes or their performance. It is internal benchmarking. Now, an automobile manufacturer has identified a Japanese company doing excellent and started benchmarking practices. This kind of benchmarking comes under competitive benchmarking, internal benchmarking, functional benchmarking, none of the above, and you can understand that correct answer is competitive benchmarking, because here you are trying to say compare yourself with the best practices available in the industry, and you have identified one Japanese company which is performing excellent in the automobile segment, and you are trying to achieve those standards. So, basically it is a competitive benchmarking. Question 16, in functional benchmarking, target should be from your own organization, B, the organization producing same product, C, it can be any organization having similar activity, D, it must be the global leader in the same business. So, the correct answer is C, it can be any organization having similar activity. Question 17, a benchmark process is one, A, which is based in an organization, B, which is based in region, C, which is based globally, D, may be all of the above. So, the correct answer is D, all of the above, as the benchmarking process may be based, you can find it within the organization or within the region or globally, and hence we are always looking for the best alternatives available or best practices available from where we can improve our processes or products. Question 18, which one of these is not the part of benchmarking? Strategic planning and goal setting, problem solving, re-engineering the business system, all the options are incorrect. So, the correct answer is D, all the options are incorrect. That is, all of these A, B and C are the part of benchmarking process. Setting a goal, problem solving, re-engineering, all this comes under well within the scope of benchmarking. Question 19, the process of benchmarking is described by A, comparison of the business process with its financial performance, comparison of two products on financial aspects, comparison of one process with other in terms of performance, all the options are incorrect. So, the correct answer is C, comparison of one process with other in terms of performance. Question 20, which of the following is not an objective of continuous improvement? You can read the options available on the screen. A, improvement of the activities in which the organization engages through documentation and understanding. B, elimination of activities that are non-value added. C, improvement of the efficiencies of activities that are value added, and D, increasing activities that are considered non-value added. So, you need to find out an odd option which is not that difficult, and the answer D, obviously increasing activities that are considered non-value added. Question 21, identify the critical success factor for benchmarking. A, senior management support. B, training for the project team. C, useful information technology system, and D, all of the above. The correct answer is D, all of the above. Question 22, which one of the following is not the Bristrol Myers and Baxter International 7-step benchmarking process? So, in detail in the lecture you have gone through Bristrol Myers and Baxter International 7-step benchmarking process. Keeping that in mind, which one of the following is not the step in this process? So, identification of best in class companies, then measuring the performance of the organization, design of experiment, specifying programs and actions to meet and surpass. So, the correct answer is C, design of experiment. This particular aspect is not included or it does not belong to Bristrol Myers and Baxter International 7-step benchmarking process. Question 23, which one of the following options, given options, belong to the planning phase of the Xerox benchmarking process? A, determining current performance gap. B, determining data collection method. C, establishing the financial goals, and D, communication, financial and gain acceptance. So, the correct answer is B, determining data collection method, that is the B, and this option belong to planning phase of the Xerox benchmarking process. Question 24, benchmarking studies look for how are the best processes practiced, results of the practice is select the correct option, A only 1, B only 2, C 1 and 2 both, D none of the above. The correct answer is C 1 and 2 both. Now, let us look at the final question, that is question 25 in assignment 11. Here a small case is described. Let us say your company is trying to determine how competitive it is in the market and it wants to design the strategic goals of the company. Company A is a company that is just as good as your company, while company B is a much larger company that can be considered a leader of the industry with far greater revenue than yours. Which company should you compare your company with in the case of best practices benchmarking? Option A, compare with company A because they are your peers. B, compare with company A because if you compare yourself to companies of similar size and quality, it is easier to detect shortcomings. C, compare with company B because you want to compare yourself to the leader of the industry. And D, compare with company B because in any kind of benchmarking you should always compare yourself with the company with the higher revenue. The correct answer is C, compare with company B because you want to compare yourself to the leader of the industry. So, with this we are finishing the solution of assignment 11. Wish you all the best.